In this video, I will be testing the CAYO Perico Heist after the recent nerf made by Rockstar Games. Yes, there was another nerf made to the CAYO Perico Heist, and this one was to the payouts of the primary and secondary loot. Along with this, there also seems to be a nerf to the setup cost of the heist, which is a huge increase from $25,000 all the way up to $100,000. But nevertheless guys, without wasting any more time, let's get into this video. So first things first guys, we need to find our primary target for the CAYO heist, and before we even have seen the primary target for the heist, we have already seen one of the nerfs, which of course is the absurd setup fee at $100,000. $100,000 will not seem like a lot of money when you guys are making a lot of money with the CAYO heist, but just remember this initial setup cost was only $25,000, so either way that you look at this, it will make a huge difference. I paid this $100,000 and started setting up the CAYO heist as I typically would. If you are wondering which method I use to set up the heist and all of the different setup options, I did make a video on this, so make sure that you check that out for a more in-depth guide. After about 10 minutes of just flying over Los Santos, I finally made it over onto the CAYO Perico Island. It is now time to find our primary loot. And to talk about the nerfs on the primary take and also secondary take on the CAYO heist, you guys can see on screen here from Tiz2Funds over on Twitter, there is actually a lot of different changes to the different things. Once again, a huge shout out to Tiz2Funds for providing this. But on this table, you can see just all of the different things Rockstar have already altered just from this one nerf alone. Pretty much all of the common primary takes are lowered. So with all of these primary takes and no secondary loot, you will be making just under $1 million. And underneath the first table set, we can see the secondary targets as well. They also got a decrease, but with the secondary targets, it is only a 10% decrease instead of 30%. And for some reason, they did not lower any gold take. So if you guys like doing the gold glitches on the CAYO Island, then you will still be able to make a majority of your money. My primary target for this heist was the ruby necklace. And if we actually just refer over to the table again, the ruby necklace will net me $700,000 instead of $1 million. So we are losing roughly $300,000 compared to before the nerf, which when you really think about it is a lot of money to lose. For completing a normal CAYO Perico heist with just a standard primary take and collecting the secondary loot with the elite objective complete, you would typically make between $1.1 to $1.5 or $6 million. So this could be very interesting to see how much we can make just from this heist. I will be going for all of the secondary loot and filling my loot bag. I am also doing this completely solo, but after about 40 minutes of just grinding through all of the setup missions for the heist, I finally got around to completing it, and now all I have to do is go ahead and start it. If you are wondering which setup I am using for the heist itself, I will quickly show you everything I select on this screen. And after I select all of these different things, we are ready to go. So starting the heist off, I will come over to the airport first, or the airstrip. This is where I will collect all of my secondary loot and fill my loot bag. Now, I did not scope out any of the secondary loot, so I'm not actually sure what is here. I collected some of the cash here first. I could have collected all of it if I wanted to, but just in case there is some better loot over at the other area, I will only take this one pile. And in the other area, there was in fact some much better loot. We had some coke and weed. Now, because I did collect a whole pile of cash, I did have to leave some weed behind, but this really did not bother me because we still had our full loot bag and over $400,000, which is pretty good. I can now start making my way back over to the longfin. And back on the longfin, I now need to take the longfin all the way over to the CAYO compound and dive in the water. I did select the drainage tunnel, so this will be my point of entry. I still think that the drainage tunnel is by far the best way you guys can get inside the compound, but I have seen other methods of different ways to get into the compound itself, and I am pretty sure that some of them are much faster than the drainage tunnel. But at long last guys, we are finally inside the compound, and now I will just take my usual route to get to the main office. Inside the main office, I will also collect the safe loot as well. Now this also received a short nerf. If you guys remember the table at the beginning of the video, you can still get some pretty good money. You guys can see that I got roughly $60,000 added onto my secondary loot, which honestly in itself is pretty good. I now made my way over to the underground vault, hacked this fingerprint corner, and started stealing the primary take. When I collected the primary take, you guys can see that I only have $1.1 million here. Now just remember, this would usually be roughly $1.3 million. So now if I go ahead and just complete the rest of the heist, escape the CAYO Perico Island completely undetected with the full loot bag, I do complete the elite challenge, and you guys can see that I only just made a little over $1 million, actually just under $1.1 million. And even after completing the heist, we get this breakdown of the different payouts. And we can see the primary take for the heist, which is the ruby necklace, only gave us $700,000. The secondary takes are pretty good still, I like them. The fencing fee was $117,000, which seems like a lot to me. I don't remember it being this high. The Pavel fee was only $23k, which isn't bad either. And then overall, we obviously completed the elite challenge, which is usually $50,000 to $100,000 extra. I believe that this is only $50,000 because we can see that our breakdown of the heist, we only made just over $1 million here, and we did end up with just under $1.1 million. Now, in my opinion, to break down this whole heist and the nerf itself, I think this is probably one of the worst things that could happen. And just remember, this nerf came around on GTA Online's 10th anniversary. I think what shocked me more was the fact that the agency's VIP contract with Dr. Dre pays out almost the same amount as I got with that one heist I just did. Not only does the Dr. Dre contract take roughly the same amount of time to complete and fully set up, it also pays out a very similar amount now. That is if you only do it solo. Of course, if you do the CAYO Perico heist with other players, you will get some more money. But just thinking about this from a solo perspective, the agency might actually be a better option. Even just thinking about buying the Kasatka itself, that does cost a lot of money initially. And compared to the agency, I think you guys can pick up an agency for just $2 million, and that is it. And then think about the agency's other options to make money as well, with the security contracts and also even the safe. I still think that there is no best money method in GTA Online, but if there is a best money method, I would definitely say that it is combining all of the different ones. But to see the CAYO Perico heist struggling to make over $1.1 million, it is definitely interesting. And then even if you factor in the setup cost of the heist at $100,000, I think we've just made a little over 1 mil, maybe under $1 million, so that is kind of crazy itself. But anyways guys, let me know your thoughts on the CAYO Perico heist nerf in the comments down below. Do you guys think this change was necessary or not? Or do you guys just think Rockstar are doing this for no reason? I feel like Rockstar could have done anything else to nerf the heist. For example, if they thought people were making money too fast, they could have just nerfed something along the line of the setups. But nowadays in GTA Online, it seems like the CAYO Perico heist always seems to catch a different nerf. Just remember, not too long ago, we also got a nerf in the CAYO heist for the different guards, and they would somehow detect bodies around corners and different things like that. I don't think we have seen this many changes to a heist before. I don't think even the casino heist got this many changes, and that was completely busted for a long time. But anyways guys, if you did enjoy this video or find it useful in any way, shape or form, make sure to leave a like. I really appreciate your support. And if you are new here, subscribe and hit that bell icon to never miss a video. Finally guys, stay safe, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.